What's up, guys? It's Tom here with Team Golden Age. Who am I with now? And tell me, what did you do?
I went undefeated through Swiss, and I lost round one in top eight with my favorite deck, Pendulum,
Best deck?
at the Invitational. Yep,
All right.
always will be.
All right. Well, show us what you got, Lorenzo.
Okay, so like I would consider like these first like seven cards like the core for the deck, or like not the core, but like the you want one of these cards in every hand pretty much. Like, and just to start off, like just with Servant, because Servant like it just pull boxes into everything. If you think they have hand traps, then you'll um what is it? You want to use her to bring out Jackal to stop hand traps. If they're playing a trap heavy deck and you're going second, a lot of times I'll bring out Mighty Master because they either have to stop the Servant or Mighty Master will stop like an important trap card they have. Um, and then after that is 3 Mastery, just because it just searches Servant. So like broken, or it searches like Mighty Master going second. That's really all I ever search with it. Um, and then you want to play 3 Abductor because that card, it literally in the scale it says search any card.
It says search
Like
servant.
search any card in my deck, and then if I normal, it's actually the best normal summon in the deck. I think it's better than Blue Boy because it searches Magician Souls, and so like if you summon this, get it with 3 counters. You search Magician Souls. Magician Souls will send away like 2 random spells, getting you like a plus, like, or it'll let you draw 2, and then you link away this and the Magician Souls for Crowley, and then you get access to the spellbook stuff, and then you get to draw another 2. Which, again, like I said, you'd want to play 2 Magician Souls. I don't own them. I always borrow them. So, but that card's busted. I wouldn't play the
From
deck
yours
without it.
truly.
Yeah, I wouldn't play the deck without Magician Souls.
Hmm.
Um, and then after that, you get onto the Endymion cards. I play 2 Reflection because pretty much just because it's a low scale and it's just like toolboxy. Because like a lot of times I don't search it or summon it. Also, this is actually the card I send off Magician Souls because having it in the graveyard just so I can have a quick effect compulse once I get Celine. How
Mm-hmm.
it's so good because it'll just let me like versus Zoo. I just bounce their normal summon. What do they do? Like
Yeah.
like Zoo Eldritch is more so why, and it's just like so good because like versus certain decks you just win because of it, and it's just good to have the option because having just negates isn't always good. And then in a similar vein, I played 2 Magister, uh, because it's a high scale and it's a good extender. Like
Mm-hmm.
honestly, because once you get it, it lets you summon one from the extra while this one is from the hand, and just summoning from the extra is so much better because like you can summon like whatever you need really, like at the end of your combo, or if you need like extra gas. And then its monster effect lets you quick effect special any card that can hold spell counters from the deck. So like you can summon a Reflection, a Mighty Master, a Jackal, and just get like disruptions. Like
Mm-hmm.
honestly, if I got drolled and I normal summon this guy and I got 3 counters on the field, I'm not scared.
Mm-hmm.
And then you play 3 of the best card in the deck, Mighty Master, because I still have yet to lose when I resolved his skill effect, and I hope it stays that way. Because that effect's busted. It just says like pop everything. And then um my personal favorite package like of all time, which I'm pretty upset that I like stopped playing it till now, is just like the mythical beast stuff, like 3
Mm-hmm.
Cerberus, 2 Jackal. It is like just the core usually. Cerberus is so good this format because like it's just gonna search you a Jackal so you can pen summon it. Um, it's it can't be destroyed by card effects, which is so good because you can summon, like, you'll activate in scale and then activate Jackal in scale, summon it, and then it'll just store counters from there for you, and that's so good because it, like, on top of it not being able to be destroyed, like no one's gonna TT this, no one's gonna needle stealing this, like on
Mm-hmm.
like, or you can't on like its initial summon, and no one's gonna TT just this because they're gonna be like, oh, his pendulum summon.
Yeah.
Um, and like Conquistador, they have to do it like immediately on this, and then it just kind of feels bad, to at least in my opinion. and if they don't, then I can just banish their Golden Lord, and then it gains attack, so it makes OTKing so much easier. Jackal's just it negates things. What I chose to play too was to just add on to it for this package was I played one Garuda,
Mm-hmm.
and that was just because it's like it's just literally just an MST, and then worst case I have it in my hand going first, and then it's a compulse. It's a compulse hand trap, which is pretty good. And it's searchable from Cerberus, so if I already have Jackal, like some of my best hands, I already have Cerberus and Jackal, and then I search this on top of it. And then because I'm playing so many mythical beasts, playing Institution is kind of broken because if I open up a hand of Cerberus plus Institution, it's pretty nutty because this lets me just search any card, like any pendulum card, pretty much. I mean, it has to hold a spell counter, but it's like all my cards hold spell counters, so it's like any card in my deck, just search. And then it's so good because Yo Magician souls away this card, and then you search one from this, and then you draw another from souls. Like it's so good. Um, and then that's like it for like the main um spell counter stuff, really. And then I played like one eccentric because again it's searchable through the like abductor. It's like super searchable, and it's just like yeah, it's just super searchable at the end of the day. Like, cause this searches abductor, so this, and then abductor searches this. So in the way this is searching it, like, servant is searching it because servant can special abductor, and then it just all gets there in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then like after that, I played just like good generic spells. I just played 2 Citadel, 1 Terraforming because Citadel is just good to hold counters, and it's just kind of like a good way to keep going. Like and just hold counters, and it's super good in the grind game because if I have this plus like Institution, like I'm just searching a card every turn for free,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes it really good. And then um just like draw cards pretty much. It's just like 2 Blue Boy, 2 Secrets, 2 Knowledge. This ratio is just perfect. I don't know what to say about it. Like you want to run multiples of these because that way if you draw, like if I draw Prophecy and I normal summon Blue Boy and then like they ash him, then I just activate like Magician Souls or Cerberus, get another monster on field, link 2, and then now I can still get access to it. So that way it'll like bait the hand trap. And then I'll play 3 Desires, which I love and hate this card. I love it because it says draw 2, but I hate it because I feel like every tournament there's at least one game where I banish all my negates, and I'm just like, oh man, why am I doing this? Because
The
I
give and
remember
take.
one of my rounds I played versus Ultrageist, Dogmatica. I literally banished 3 Mighty Master and 1 Jackal, and I was just like, I don't know how I beat this deck. No,
Yeah.
and, and yeah, that was fun. And then just power one ofs like instant fusion because you got to be able to beat Troll. Upstart because it says draw a card. Into the Void because it says draw a card, and that's it for the main deck.
So
And then
how many cards is the main?
40.
Okay. Not playing the 60 card spice.
Nah, maybe a different time. I wanted to, but I still had to test things.
That's fair.
So to start off for the extra deck, um, I played 1 Crowley because of what I said before. I played 1 IP because for the hands where I banish all my negates, I need something as a disruption. And to go with IP is like the unicorn usually. And then some of my other link twos are Cross Sheep because there's the Cross Sheep combo with Absolute Dragon and stuff. And then Daybreaker because it says pop a card and it's just a good generic link two. Or it's not a generic, but it's a good link two for the deck for what it does.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Geonator Transverser, which is just kind of my like easy out to Dragoons because the last tournament, man, Dragoons Dragoons had my ass, and like I needed to play something for it because my original plan of just trying to like say fuck it, I'll just bait the negates and then make an access code. That doesn't work as often as I'd like, which brings me to another point. And then I played one access code, which I borrowed again, also from Tom.
Smile.
Yeah, and then same with I played one Artemis, the Magistus Link one, because for the hands where I draw like a pendulum card and knowledge, I can't knowledge away a pendulum card, so I could just link it away for her and then knowledge that away, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like super good just because it helps with the consistency. Um, and then from that, my instant fusion target was Millenniumize Restrict because again, I got to beat Joel or I kind of die.
Mm-hmm.
Apollosa is just good for like it's just good for those decks that need monster get. Honestly, you could cut this. Like, I never make it. I just kind of have it there just in case. Like, if you think there's gonna be a lot of back row, you could play like something else. I don't know what just yet, but like, honestly, you don't need it, especially in this format. Like, everyone's playing like. I feel like just people won't care because like you're not making this for 4 ever. You're probably making this with like 2 or 3,
Yeah.
and it's like, what's the point? But sometimes you gotta. So it is what it is. And then you play one absolute and one vortex because it it's one of the best cards ever. Especially when it's an ulti.
Oh, okay. You gotta flex when you can because there's not too many ulti
Hey man,
pendulum cards.
yeah. There's nothing. I think this is like the only thing that's playable. And then you play 3 of the best link monster in the game, Celine,
Mm-hmm.
because this card just says like give you extra disruptions. I think most people have learned that they can still attack her, or they can't attack her if I have a card on field. So they just kind of pop her more often than not. But it's still fun because sometimes I'll have games where I just end on her with a Mighty Master in the scale, and I'll make it to the next turn just off that, and it's super good.
Yeah.
Cause I love that card. And then for the side, um, I started off with 2 cosmics, which I had to borrow because I couldn't find mine. Which, speaking of which, like, um, I think that for this tournament, my deck was the most blinged out that it's been because I had a CR Artemis in there. I had these cosmics that was borrowing were ulti. Like,
Broken.
I just needed like a couple other things. Would have been really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then after that, I played 3 Dark Ruler No More
Mm-hmm.
as one of my ways to stop um what's that deck called? Ditron,
Mm-hmm.
alongside 3 Droll, which I play this going first and second.
Mm-hmm.
Going second versus Ditron, I side in all 3. Going first versus Ditron, I side in 1 because it's searchable from Abductor, and I usually search that over Souls if I get the chance. Because ending on like 4 negates plus a Droll, like, or even just 2 negates plus a Droll, like, what are they doing after that? Well, I mean, I found out, but I also did get droplets. Whenever that happened.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was in Top Cut too. It is what it is. Um, oh yeah, and then on top of that, for Ditron going second, I also have Mystic Mine because if I draw a Droll or Dark Ruler No More plus Mystic Mine, like I win the game, and I have so many draw cards. Like I'm gonna see multiples of any of these cards
Mm-hmm.
versus that deck. And then like any of these cards just win me the game. Like most builds don't have an Optimistic Mind. Going first versus Droll, they don't really do anything unless they like hard drew the vanities and like 2 guys that they can special summon
Yeah.
or something. Um, and then versus back row decks, like I had the 2 cosmics and then there's the prank and the red reboot. Um, prank because it's good versus Eldritch Zoo. Because if I just summon this versus Eldritch Zoo, I probably won that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then red reboot just in case people played like anti spell or debarrier or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which I wanted to play 3 Denko instead. Like I was gonna cut the red reboot at the 2 cosmics, play Denko. But I realized if people are playing like hard floodgates. I don't want to lose to that. Like I'd rather because red reboot's chainable, cosmic cyclone is chainable, and Prinkertops also outstum floodgates like that. And it just seemed better. Like Denko, they could play around it. Like if they're smart, they'll just activate their cards in the standby, and then I lose because I played Denko.
Yeah.
That's what I ultimately decided. I just wanted to play Cosmics instead. And then going first, because Droplets, Dark Ruler No More, those kinds of cards are really good in this format. I played 2 Secret Village. The reason I played this over the right hand package is because the right hand package loses to Skullmeister and Bell, which I assumed everyone was gonna play in their main deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I this doesn't lose to it. And if I activate this and I end on like a big beater or like just a really big monster versus Dytron,
Mm-hmm.
they lose. Like they can't ritual summon anything. Like all they can do is summon like a lot of guys.
True.
And like there's plus on the gate. Like it's an auto win versus like most decks.
Mm-hmm.
Same with like Invoke Dogma. Like well, that one's kind of weird because it there's a lot of variety with it.
Yeah.
Because I can just not summon a monster from my extra deck, and then like they can't do invoked plays, and then like they won't be able to summon out what's her name. So like if I just have like if I special summon a Jackal from hand and then pass, like they can't do a lot there. I don't know. Unless I got dropped it or something, but like again, I wouldn't side that versus this deck. It was just like a point that like this can be good versus so many decks. Like this also just wins versus rogue like dinos and everything.
Yeah. It's just a
And then
good
I played
card.
one called by. Or what were you saying?
I said it's just good versus a lot of things.
Yeah, it's just good versus a lot of things. And then played one called by because again I got a beat troll. I was trying to main deck this thing, but I didn't want to play 41 with
That's fair.
upstart. I was really trying. Like I was trying to cut everything, but like everything I was trying to cut, I was like, well, if they don't play hand traps in the main, like, or if they don't play drill in the main, then my hands are just gonna be worse game ones, and then I'm gonna lose my game ones. So I figured I would just side it
Mm-hmm.
because worst case they mix me up, and then I sided this when they make me go second, and then like I could just activate on something,
Yeah.
like banish it, like just to get the counters. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck.
Any shout outs?
Shout out to Tom and Walker for letting me borrow cards. Shout out to Adam for talking me out of playing some really bad deck ideas I had. Same with Dylan too. If it does the homie, 'cause he always helps out whenever it comes to
Theory.
like deck building and stuff. Like usually we talk about things all the time. Shout out to Team Golden Age for hosting the event, and I think that's all. I can remember.
And then shout outs to Lorenzo for joining the team for his performance, going undefeated
Yep.
through Swiss and playing probably one of the more difficult paths to the top cut.
Yeah, no, that was that was a hard matchup. Like some of them.
But
And yeah, I didn't stick to the game plan in Top Cut, like, because one of the reasons the deck's so good is because it can go second really well in this format. I feel, and I was just too confident in the deck being the best deck, and I went first for some reason. But it happens.
gotta stick to the game plan.
Yep, we gotta stick to the game plan.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations and thanks for watching, everybody. And remember to like and subscribe.